Welcome to the So Social Radio Show. I'm your host, Richard Martin, along with my amazing co-host,
Cheri Martin, and we are the WCN Interactive Team, business growth, marketing, and social media strategists, helping you to
dream it, plan it, build it, and most importantly, successfully do it.
For that growth, prosperity, and success that all of us entrepreneurs and small businesses strive for. And each Wednesday at 12 noon on talknetworkradio.com, we share tips and techniques to grow you and your business, plus demystify social media and marketing for you so you can have more fun.
And my favorite, more profits.
Yes. We want to definitely invite all of our audience and listeners today to connect with us on Facebook at So Social Radio Show. Make sure you do give us that big like. And especially today, because we're going to be giving away 2 tickets to the 9th Business Acceleration Summit. That is in 2 weeks here in Brevard County, Florida at the Hilton Rialto. And we'll give you more information about that here in just a little bit. We're also going to open up our lines today. So make sure you're listening at 321-806-3159. That is the call-in number. I'll repeat that. It's 321-806-3159. And what we want you to do is kind of get your thinking caps on, because today's conversation is all about our Small Business Week that we're celebrating nationally right now. And we're going to be focusing on just having a conversation about what's the contributions have been from small businesses to local communities and the national economy. And we would love to hear from our audience today. What motivates you as a small business owner? If you can call in, again, that number is 321-806-3159, and just share with us briefly your why and what keeps you going.
This is going to be a fun show, and hopefully we're going to get a bunch of people that take you up and call in on that number, 321-806-3159. But before we do that, let's get to our sponsors that make all of this possible. I want to start out with Toastmasters, a world leader in communications and leadership development. Find out how you can improve your speaking and leadership skills. Visit toastmastersd84.org.
Also, Constant Contact, and they are a partner of us. They're also a partner with the SBA, celebrating Small Business Week. They're an award-winning company empowering small businesses and nonprofits to grow and succeed through email marketing. You can be a marketer with one toolkit, one login. Get yourself a 60-day free trial. Just try it.
What do you have to lose?
Exactly.
You might actually make some money.
You got it. And if you're not building a marketing list today, you need to start, because that's how you can grow your business. So to get a 60-day free trial, go to this link. It's a bit.ly, bit.ly/WCN, the word free, FREECTCT. Again, that's bit.ly/WCN free CTCT.
And everythingbrevard.com, a Brevard County, Florida community website, keeping you up to date on everything that's happening in Brevard, and get your business listed on everythingbrevard.com also.
We also want to give a shout out to our newest partner, which is the Business Acceleration Summit. Those of you that tuned in last week, you heard from Shannon Gronich all about how she started the Acceleration Summit back in 2015. You can also go to our podcast at talknetworkradio.com to actually listen to the podcast from last week. But they're getting ready to celebrate the 9th Business Acceleration Summit on Tuesday, May 16th, Wednesday, May 17th, and Thursday, May 18th. 18th. It's going to be in Melbourne, Florida at the Hilton Rialto. And you can actually get all that information on their website, which is businessaccelerationsummit.com. Again, businessaccelerationsummit.com, and they have a registration link there. And again, if you want to have an opportunity to win one of 2 tickets today, make sure you call in to our show. And that number again, Richard? Got it there?
You moved it.
I got it. All right.
321.
806-3159. And just share with us what your why is. Again, what gets you up moving every morning to keep your small business going?
You know, what gets me up is, my whole family, from my great aunt on forward, were entrepreneurs on this, and so it's just in my blood. First 20 years of my career, I worked for some corporations, actually some very, very good corporations, including Jimmy Dean Meat Company, which was fantastic. But there was something that just didn't sit with me. I needed to get out and see what I could do and see how I could spread my wings and what I could get done. And that's how I became an entrepreneur at that time. And then I met you, and I slowly converted you.
I was going to say, what is my why? I actually am just helping Richard.
Well, no, I mean, you go back to, what was your father?
He was an entrepreneur, and I have other family members that are entrepreneurs as well. And I always tease Richard because when we met, I was a single mom working a couple jobs. What was one more job, right? I could add that. I was super mom. And so I started working alongside Richard, and then we became partners and eventually married, and the rest is history. But my why is because I just love sharing with other small businesses how to grow their business. That's what gets me up every day and keeps me on top of everything that's happening out there in the online arena.
And what is your moniker or nickname?
Oh, my brand, the Social Visionary.
And hey, for social media, there is none better. And that's because you spent a lot of time and a lot of money getting trained by the best in the business. If you want to be the best, you have to learn from the best, and that's not always inexpensive.
So true, but it does, like I say, keeps us humble too, because as being small businesses, we realize a lot of the challenges and struggles that we all have. And yet, I guess you could say it would be easy to go get a real job, as we're told to do sometimes. However, there's just something about owning your own business.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody goes, yeah, you're free. You can take off. And then, well, yeah, you can. But if I take off an afternoon, there are consequences to taking off an afternoon. I miss phone calls. I don't get work done in a timely manner. So all of those things add up. And, my responsibility is to serve the people that hire me and to do the best I possibly can to get them the results they're looking for. And that's the whole process of being it. It's very, very difficult to turn around and all of a sudden say, okay, yeah, well, I'm going to take every afternoon off. Well, maybe you're in a business where you can on that. We're not quite there.
I know. I think one of the things that people assume that those of us that have our own business, especially of us, we're a home-based business. We work out of our home now. So they assume that I can be doing dishes, doing laundry, doing all those fun stuff. I guess you call it fun. I sure don't think it is.
I wouldn't call it fun.
Well, I'm working in your PJs. And I'll tell you what, I don't like working in my pajamas because I don't feel as professional as I should. Now, there are some that are comfortable with it, but I really like to wake up every morning and really focus on what I can do to grow my business that day. And I feel I just need to put on that hat to really focus on, my industry, my profession and what I can do to be more productive. And being in pajamas sometimes kind of just doesn't make me very productive.
Well, and I'm glad you said that. There's a reason IBM wants people to show up in their IBM blue suits, male or female. And that's more than just a brand statement that they're making. It's that you're coming to work. When you put the blue on, you're representing something that's bigger than you. And that's the whole thing, and we're sitting here, and American Express does the same, and twice a year they do a lot to support small businesses, and we're in right now in Small Business Week. Well,
Richard, what exactly is Small Business Week? They call it National Small Business Week. What exactly is it?
Well, it's just a time when American Express, because so much of what they do is focused around small businesses, that they actually created it. So National Small Business Week is a recognition event in honor of entrepreneurs.
Exactly. The Small Business Association actually began this in 1963, over 50 years ago. And again, as you say, it's an event to really honor and recognize the top entrepreneurs of the United States. I know President Trump did so this week, but every president since 1963 has actually issued a proclamation announcing National Small Business Week. And I think that's really, it just makes me feel good that I'm a part of that, the small businesses here in the United States.
Absolutely so. It's part of when you look at, let's just look at most small businesses, Main Street downtown of any city. You go into New York City, Fifth Avenue. A lot of those may not be technically classified as small businesses, but they all started as small businesses. Business owners that show up every morning, go to work, and they're there to support their clientele. They're there to grow their business. They're there to help their community. And the benefit is you can be active. You can jump into what you're doing, and you can make a difference in people's lives. And it doesn't matter whether you got a candy store or you're selling gold. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it is so true. I know that as part of National Small Business Week, the U.S. Small Business Administration takes the opportunity to actually highlight the impact of outstanding entrepreneurs, small business owners, and others from all over our 50 United States and U.S. territories. They actually have a lot of activities that you can find out more on their website, and that's at www.sba, that's S as in Sam, B as in boy, A as apple.gov, and then /NSBW. So initials for National Small Business Week. They have a list of sponsors. As I mentioned, Constant Contact is one of the SBA sponsors for Small Business Week. They also mention they have some online webinars, and there's still some that you can actually tap into this week to help you grow your business. One of them is a Constant Contact email marketing one. We mentioned the importance of email marketing many times on our show. And then, of course, more information about Small Business Week. But really what I love to share with almost every business I talk to, there's so many resources out there for small business today. We participated in one of those events yesterday, the 2017 Space Coast Score BizFest Expo for Entrepreneurs. That's a mouthful. But we had that here in Brevard County. We had a number of breakout sessions. We had the pleasure of presenting a breakout on, a guide to successful social media marketing. There were a number of other speakers that shared other information. A keynote speaker, Carol Craig, who amazing talk. Oh, it's just amazing. She is phenomenal. She's with the founder of Craig Technologies. She's here they're headquartered out of Cape Canaveral, but they're all over the United States. But she calls herself an accidental entrepreneur. So her story is so inspiring. And
yeah, it is. It's amazing, and we have a tendency to, And I'm not just saying this because of Carol Craig, but we have a tendency to put people on pedestals, and I'll learn to say that word before the end of the show.
I know about them, right?
on that. But, she just didn't dive into it. Her story is really interesting. It's amazing. She had to climb over a lot of cliffs. She had to take a lot of hurdles, and just like you and I have on there in building our business. So when you look at people with success, you can go to the president of the United States. Yeah, he's a billionaire, but he had to file a few bankruptcies along the line. Not going into the politics of it, but life is full of challenges, and it's how you meet the challenges that will determine what you do.
Exactly. I mean, what Carol really yesterday sharing her story with us at that event really made me realize the contributions she has made. So as a small business, however, she shared with us, she was raw. She said, there were nights she didn't sleep. And there are still nights she doesn't sleep because she knows that what she's sacrificing to continue growing her business. And I think that's just with us as entrepreneurs, the sacrifices we've made. I mean, we share a story that we got to the point that we only had $10 in our pocket, and we were invited to go speak at an event, and we weren't getting paid for that event, but we had to drive there. And we prayed about it, and we went, and we're so very, very happy that we did because that just kind of got us more opportunities. But as far as contributions, what do you feel are some of the greatest contributions small businesses have really provided to the local community or even nationally?
Well, one of the things that I think, and I don't know that everybody would necessarily chime in, but to be an entrepreneur, to be on Main Street, USA, to have that small business, you really, really are on the bleeding edge of what goes on in business. The inventions, the creativity, the ideas really originate from small businesses. And whether it's retail or whether it's space technology, that's the thing that goes on. It's there because we're not shackled into the corporate thinking. Why do so many corporations buy small businesses? The answer is they want their technology, whether it's just ways to market retail or whether you're launching spacecrafts. Mm-hmm. It's the technology. It's the new way to breathe life into an old business, and that's the important thing because that keeps your spirits up. That keeps you dreaming. That keeps you on that edge where you're looking for the next possibility. What is that next just creative moment that's going to flash through your mind and what you're looking for? And that's the benefit, and that's the creativity of small businesses, and that's why a lot of big corporations buy small businesses. You look at all the mergers and acquisitions that go on to, going through Wall Street up in New York. People are always taking over the new businesses to get the latest technology. Mm-hmm. You go back and look at Bill Gates. We did a show on it a couple of years ago. He started out and one of the people that was doing the nanotechnology of the most popular one was the iPad, but there was one before that. There was an Android version, and he was in part of that. And from those little steps, you've got a whole massive corporation.
So true. And again, we just want to remind our audience that if you would like to share with us your why, what motivates you as a small business owner, and have a chance. We have 2 tickets to give away today to the 9th Business Acceleration Summit here in Brevard County. So take advantage of getting one of those tickets and continue growing your business. It's just so fitting for the topic that we're talking about today about small businesses. But again, call in at 321-806 806-3159. Again, 321-806-3159. And tell us your why. But I wanted to make a mention. When we were kind of researching some information about Small Business Week to share out with our event yesterday as well as our show this week, what I found so very interesting was the fact that more than half of Americans either own or work for a small business, and they create about 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. That's powerful. And you were just talking about Microsoft, Bill Gates. Look at, Apple as well as Steve Jobs. I mean, they all started in small businesses in the garage, in the dorm, I think.
In the garage, Facebook, in the dorm, in the basement, wherever.
We all start that way.
You start where you are. You don't look for a place to start. You start where you are.
But look how they have grown. And we talked about Carol Craig here with Craig Technologies. They all started small, but they persevered. They continued growing and, again, making those major sacrifices. And look now how they are contributing to our society, especially nationally.
Yeah, but,
internationally.
all over,
yes.
Yeah, But, when you decide to go into business for yourself, solopreneur, partnerships, whatever, most of us, including me, you look at the bright side. I can make as much as I want. I can do this. I can do that. I'll have the freedoms. And yes, you do. But running a business, the decisions that you have to make are not always easy.
Oh, tell me about it. I'm glad you get to make those decisions.
Well, just look at the decisions you make for people and talking about social media and doing your trainings and doing your phone conferences with people. There are a lot of decisions and sometimes they have massive impact on people's businesses.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just had a question come in asking basically, what is the definition of a small business? And, that's a really good question because to me, small business is us, entrepreneurs, 1, 2, 3 people. However, the actual definition of a small business is an independently owned and operated company that is limited in size and in revenue depending on the industry. For example, a local bakery that employs 10 people is an example of a small business. But also a manufacturing facility that employs less than 500 people is considered a small business.
Whoa, that's a pretty big number.
I
would have never guessed that.
I know that surprised me when I actually researched this information. And like I said, to me, we're small. We're actually entrepreneurs. There's a lot of entrepreneurs here in our local area, but I know that there's the number. I think it's 28 million small businesses.
Yes, yeah.
That are the backbone of our economy.
Well,
wow!
The small business people are the ones that are taking it to the public. Like I said, you talk about Main Street in any city in the United States, and they're the ones that go to work every morning. They're the ones that are figuring out how to get their product and service sold, how to get next year's products and services created, because nobody wants next year what they have this year. They want something different, newer, better, stronger, brighter, prettier.
We'll talk about our downtown communities because, when we were younger, the downtown area was the place to go. We didn't really have malls when we were children.
Exactly.
I don't
know that the malls are doing very well now, but it's cyclical.
Well, but here's what's interesting. Downtown communities are revamping themselves. Look at our downtown communities.
You look at Melbourne, you look at Cocoa, the revitalization that's going on in just those 2 communities. And I know Titusville is doing the same thing up there with what's happening. They got the ball potential of the ball baseball team coming in up there. They got the space center is up and going again. So we here in Brevard County are very optimistic on business and having things grow and go our way. We spent a few years down, but that's just a life cycle.
Well, a few years ago, and I think it was around the time that our economy kind of took a downturn. So I would say 2008-ish, there was a initiative in many communities, and I know we had one here too, called Buy Local.
Yes.
And you mentioned American Express earlier. They actually were the ones that started the Small Business Saturday back in 2010.
Yeah, and that's the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Exactly. And they made the Shop Small a nationwide movement so that we could celebrate small businesses every day. And that has really contributed to the local economy growing because, I mean, why should we buy from our local community or local merchants when we have the big chain merchants? What's the difference? Why?
And I'm going to obviously step out and be in favor of small businesses, but I don't, at the same time, I don't want to put down the large chains. But the disadvantage that the large chains bring into the local community is the dollars spent there, very little of it comes back to the community. Most of it goes to corporate headquarters. Yes, they're going to pay some wages and salaries that are local, but when you're buying from somebody on Main Street, not only are the people that they're paying and everything else that goes on staying in the community, their investments are in the community. They're paying property tax. They're paying use taxes. They're doing all the other things that are local taxes for Brevard County here, and that is what fuels the energy here to build new roads, to expand to new subdivisions, and take the money to invest in infrastructure and put all of that together. So that's how we look at it from that standpoint. It's keeping the money in the local community, and that's what it's all about. And that's why downtown Melbourne, Cocoa, what I call almost right now the Four Corners area in Palm Bay on Wickham and Palm Bay Road. It's all the same. It's coming up. It's the local entrepreneurs also having large corporations coming in, chains being there too. But everybody's grouped together. And if the big malls, Melbourne Mall, Merritt Island Mall, are going to come back, they have to embrace that. And right now, they want all those little national chains in so they can get high-dollar real estate footage. But unfortunately, people aren't shopping there because people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Well, precisely. And as a small business, I know even our involvement in the chamber, I notice there's so much more activity and involvement with the small business entrepreneurs. Yes, we have other small businesses that have employees. They have their spokesperson or their key point person coming in and getting involved in the chamber too. But again, they're small businesses, and we seem to really just focus on helping each other. That's why the referral groups work well, or leads groups, and networking, because we're out building those relationships and we want to do business with each other. That is going to be beneficial. And so it's so important as a small business to get involved in your community. I love the fact that here locally we do have some great stuff happening on Small Business Saturday. I think, American Express during that time provides all the free artwork, things you can download so that you can push your promotions out with their logos and everything, and really get the movement going. And we've had some great stuff happening this last few years, especially in the different areas of Brevard County, that merchants get together and come together and celebrate that Small Business Saturday to drive people into their retail establishments. But it also helps those entrepreneurs that are small business owners, even though they are maybe doing direct selling or network marketing, they have products. And we're talking about your makeup companies, like Mary Kay, Arbonne, Send Out Cards, health products, Isogenics, all of these individuals that actually take and sell these products and have built a business from it. And a lot of them actually come together and put on, maybe they'll rent a space and they'll have activities during Small Business Saturday as well. But it is something that we shouldn't just celebrate Small Business Week and Small Business Saturday. We really need to be embracing and celebrating small businesses every single day of the year.
They still are the lifeblood of the economy, and recognizing that fact, and the fact that, they're the ones taking the risk. They're the ones that have put their capital up at risk, and either direct risk, or they've got a bank loan or something else that's going on. But that's what drives this economy. Mm-hmm. That's where new ideas are invented, new methods are invented, new technologies invented, is in small companies. Now, did learn something yesterday. I didn't know a small business was any business less than 50 million. Uh-huh. That was new to me, because to me 50 million's big business.
Oh, yes, definitely. In fact, they say that over 50% of the working population, which includes about 120 million individuals, work in a small business. And small businesses have generated over 65%, Richard, of the new net jobs since 1995.
Wow.
So there is something to be said about being a small business, and embrace it. I know that there's a lot of roller coaster rides, but big businesses have that too.
Look at it. We've all been through a downturn. Even the big corporations went through this downturn that started 5 or 6 years ago, and putting all that together. And it hadn't been a fun ride for anybody.
Well, my daughter down in Miami works for a large retail association or retail company here, corporation here. And I mean, they just did a sweep of closing stores. Look at what was the space? Oh, what was the sports place there? That
Sports Authority.
They closed.
They closed down a couple of years ago.
And I know my daughter was stressed, and she's like thinking that retail is safe because everybody wants to shop retail, but they still need to look at what stores are producing, what stores are not, and they need to merge, and they need to really work smarter, because otherwise they're going to lose it all.
Well, and that's, everybody hates the dreaded financial reports that come out every month in the P&L that you're held accountable for. But, those are important business tools. Whether we like them or not, that's our roadmap. That's our GPS that tells us how we're doing in business and how we're putting things together. It also goes, you dealing with your daughter. The other side of that is, what products are selling? What's not selling? What do we keep in inventory? What do we find something to replace and get rid of the inventory? Mm-hmm. And when you see a lot of that going on, a lot of the sales that's happening, what it's about is hooking it up, mm-hmm. and putting it together. So that's the whole side that we're looking at and what we're trying to play with. Mm-hmm. So
Oh, precisely. And again, who wants those 2 tickets to the 9th Business Acceleration Summit? That's going to be a mentor and mastermind. And again, our call-in number is 321-806-3159. It looks like we do have a caller on the line. Jeff, do you want to patch that? Who do we have here today with us?
Rob the Printer.
Rob the Printer, one of our previous spotlight guests. So hi, Rob Palumbo with, okay, let me get this right now. Design, graphics, printing, right?
Wow. You guys are good.
Yes. Well, you're awesome since you print all our stuff. I always want to get that design and graphic mixed up. So
no problem.
Thank you for calling. So
no problem.
Share with us.
So what motivates you as a small business owner, huh?
Yes, what motivates you? What is your big why?
Oh, well, just getting out there and being part of the business world, honestly. I mean, I just, being, putting out a good product. That's why I get up in the morning and I go into work and I do my job.
So you really are passionate about serving the people that come in and are willing to invest in you, if I can rephrase it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, said in better words, exactly.
And you also, I know that you take it very personal with your product. I mean, I've seen you work nonstop.
We call that multitasking.
Yes, we do.
It's delaying dinner, yes.
Yeah, a few times. dinner, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day.
Mother's Day, maybe. Valentine's Day, I wouldn't push that one too far.
It happened once. I got a lot of trouble for that.
I don't blame you.
It was a trip to the jewelry store to repair that damage.
You're a good guy. Well, I know when you were on our show here this last month, you shared, or I guess maybe it was March that you were here with us, but you shared how you started in the business, and you really, you didn't take your dad's business and carry it on, but you learned from your father.
Oh yeah, This is like second generation printing, graphics, being kind of involved in the whole situation. It was kind of in my blood.
Well, and you do a phenomenal job. I know that's why we refer you. That's why we use you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, you guys are awesome. I mean, it really was awesome being on your show, and I just thought it'd just be cool to call and give my point of view.
Well, we definitely do appreciate that for sure. Double thumbs up.
And we will
sir.
And we're going to be at the 9th Business Acceleration Summit, which again is May 17th. I got the dates here. Let me get them here real quick. Here it's May 17th, 18th, and 19th, I believe. Let me just double check. May 16th. I'm sorry, Tuesday night's the dinner. But May 17th, which is Wednesday, it's an all-day event. You're going to receive a ticket for that specific day.
Awesome.
Value is $120, and that's
nice.
I know it. So we'll definitely make sure that Shannon Gronich gets your name, so you'll get those tickets waiting for you. I'll get them mailed to you, but we'll be there all day as well, and we're just always looking for ways to grow our business so we can keep that why front and center, so we don't get discouraged, because we need to be around. Well, it's important to be around other entrepreneurs, other small businesses, so that we can stay focused.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is, especially when you're lost in your own ideas and you need to go outside the box of asking somebody else. The more connections you have to people, I'm not even talking. I'm talking about possibly even, let's say you want to move your shop, and you're in printing, and you're like, well, I want to go. Where's the right place to put my printer?
Mm-hmm.
My operation.
Right.
And that could be an ice cream stand. That could be. And this is just you want to talk to other people that own small businesses and what their experiences were moving their business next to Publix versus next to a medical office versus next to a dry cleaner. You get different people and different, you can't just do it all on your own, It costs more to do it on your own than to take in other people's advice and go from there.
So true. And I know you just went through that move a little over a year ago, so I'm sure you were really tapped into a lot of those resources to find out.
I did.
So,
I did, for sure.
But we so appreciate you calling in and sharing with us today, Rob, and we'll get that ticket mailed to you, and we'll see you there.
All right, sounds good.
Everybody check out Rob Palumbo at DesignGraphicsPrinting.com.
.net.
.net. Oh, no, I really blew it.
Yeah, I couldn't get the .com.
.net.
Darn. .net. So
all right.
we'll put your information out there and congratulate you. So we'll promote you again on the So Social Radio Show page.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Rob.
All right,
Bye-bye.
take it easy, guys.
Have a great social day. Bye-bye.
You too.
I mean, Rob was on the show, but that's an interesting story. I mean, Rob worked for the family, but he wanted to step out on his own. He wanted to be responsible for himself. And, he is he's the perfect example for an entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur that's made it reasonably successful in what he's doing. He's got a great reputation. He's got a great product. And, like you said, our recommendation is he takes care of all our printing.
That he does. And what I love about him is he doesn't ever get mad at us when we come in with those rush jobs or last minute jobs. We're not rush, but last minute, which makes it rush. But yeah, he treats us very, very well. So again, I'm excited that he'll be there with us at the 9th Business Acceleration Summit there at the Hilton Rialto. Again, we have one ticket left. We have about 10 minutes left that you can call in and get that second ticket we're giving away today. Oh my gosh, the amount of speakers that are going to be there. I mean, if you would go... Do
you have a list of those in front of you? You have the website?
I have a website. I can pull it up here real quick while you're talking. If you want to talk, I'll...
Sure.
Yeah, I multitask all the time, but I don't always do a great job at it. So let me pull that site up.
I've got a real good friend up in North Atlanta, Jeff Curlow. And Jeff Curlow makes one-off aircraft. And he's got this neat aircraft. Talking about small business entrepreneurs that are willing to take a risk. He's putting a single-seat jet canard together up there. You're talking about being really out there on being one-off. Jeff does a fantastic job, and he's got a great team around him that is willing to work with him and people that take care of him. So when we look at it, we're in social media. Jeff is in aviation. We got Rob that's in printing. We got the owner of this radio station, Jeff Heiser. All of this are entrepreneurs that we've all taken a risk that probably 99% of the professionals would say, you're crazy. Just figure out something else to do on that. And you can jump in on that one if you want, Jeff. So, on putting that out there. But it's so true. It's just a special breed. It's a special mentality. It's a way to keep life exciting and interesting and moving forward. And I just love the thrill of going out and helping people.
It's a feel good. I know that when I'm able to find a solution for a client that really gets them excited, it gets me excited, but most importantly, it helps them take their business to that next level, or to see social media or online marketing differently, or email marketing. And when they get results, like yesterday at the event that we spoke at, I had a few of our constant contact email clients come up to me and share their stories of what's been happening with their emails, because, they decided to take the chance and try it, and they have growing their business. They're getting communications out there. We had a lady that came to your branding event a few weeks ago when you did the branding, Brand You Mastermind, and she walked out of that brand workshop with a new brand that she's been sharing out here, and she says she's blowing people away with it. They just wow, it's making her stand out, making her unique.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And that's why, we created the Brand You experience. And it's the same thing that you do with your social media. Your social media is all about top of mind awareness, top of mind presence of what's out there. But that's what you can do in small business. You don't need all these $1 million advertising campaigns. And, I think it's really interesting to see the type of advertising campaigns that are coming through on TV now, because there's so many of them that are new product oriented, new product related out there. I don't know if anybody else has picked that up on what they're seeing on TV out there right now, but it's just amazing the new services that are being thrown upon us on a national level. Now, they've all got big brands around them to afford that type of marketing, but it's out there.
It all takes investments, and even as a small business, I think that's probably one of our biggest challenges, is where we can get some loans or that investment money. And I do want to just bring attention to a website, which is the Small Business Administration, their .gov site. That's sba.gov. They have tons of resources there, and they have a learning center. They have how to get loans and grants. There's, of course, the SBA loan you can always apply for, but they also give you other information, like how to start a business, managing a business. They have a lot of forms, a lot of different information links that you can click on to. Score is another one, score.org, the national score. And then they have all the local score. That's SCORE.org. They have a tremendous amount of information that you can actually tap into, and this is all free information to help small businesses.
No, exactly, and you've got the Small Business Development Center. They kind of overlap and do the same thing, but it's another place to go get resources. It's another place to go look at what's going on. Then you have Career Source Brevard. That's another one. We Ventures doing a lot of stuff now with women entrepreneurs. So these are resources that are available to you and people that are willing to give up their time to help you.
Well, you asked me to let our audience know some of the mastermind mentors that are going to be at the Business Acceleration Summit again, May 16th, 17th, and 18th here in Brevard County at the Hilton Rialto, or actually Melbourne, Florida. And they have a whole list of, and we've had the opportunity of hearing a number of these people, but they have their past and present listed on their website at businessacceleration.summit.com. But there are people like Hugh Ballou. I've heard of him. He's a transformational leadership strategist, founder of the nonprofit Performance Magazine. He just gives so much. And they don't, and as Shannon shared with us last week, a lot of these mentors that come, they're from all over. They're not just here local. They're national, international. They don't get paid to come and help these businesses to get and reach that next level. Of course, there is Keith Leon. He actually is a book publisher and business growth expert. We've heard him, I think it was at the Guerrilla Marketing Summit about a year or so ago. Yes. Oh my gosh, there is, Nadia Linda Hull. She's actually from Hawaii, I believe. The Barefoot Doctor of Princeton, she calls herself, and she is just more into the medical intuitive healer. Linda Cobb, who I have her book actually, and I know her. I've been to a number of her events. Six-figure coach and expert in creating corporate partnerships to fund your business. So the list goes on and on. A local guy here that is a very good friend of ours, Joshua Adams.
Oh, Josh is great.
Tremendous
awesome.
Web developer, has a super good team, really expanding his business. He actually helps you with marketing-focused websites, brand identity, digital marketing. So again, there are so many individuals that they have coming, past, present. Some of them keep coming to all of them. But definitely take a look at that. Treat yourself to being there. We have one ticket left. Call in. You have one minute to call us. Otherwise, go to the So Social Radio Show page. And on the top pinned post, tell us your why. And for those of you that do that, we'll randomly choose one of you to get this second ticket that we're giving away today if nobody calls here before we leave today. I wanted to just make a mention, too, that this is kind of the downside of businesses. That makes me feel good knowing we've been in business basically since 1998. Yeah, we've done a lot of changes and we've revamped. We've
morphed along the way.
We have morphed a lot. And but they say that approximately 543,000 new businesses get started each month.
543,000? 500,000 businesses? Wow.
But more employer businesses shut down than start up each month.
Whoa.
So, and what is it? I'm not sure what the percentage is of businesses that don't make it to 5 years. I know we were told that yesterday. I don't know if I wrote it down.
I thought it was something like 98% or something like that. It was an astronomical number.
I know. But here's another one. 52% of all small businesses are home-based.
There you go. That's us. We're in there.
That is powerful. So a lot of great statistics out there about small businesses.
And we're coming up on 20 years. How about that?
Oh.
Not there yet, but we're coming up.
And again, we have morphed, definitely. So some last parting words, Richard. I wanted to leave with a quote here, if you would like to share something, too.
On that, shop small businesses, help the people out on Main Street, USA, and it's not being done like you're donating to society. Go check out these privately owned businesses, partnerships, and those things, and talk to the people that support you in what you do, and move it around that way. But look at what's in Cocoa. Look at what's in Cocoa Beach. Look at what's in Merritt Island and everything around here. But
look in your community. Look at, for those that are not in our county area, look in your community as well. Before I leave with a quote here today, I just want to make sure everyone go to talknetworkradio.com. Click on the new May 2017 issue of Connect 10. This is issue 5. And of course, check out our article on page 4. But you can actually read from other small businesses as well in Connect 10. And we're excited to be a part of that. But we want to make sure everyone knows that people who end up as first don't actually set out to be first. They set out to do something they love. And that's a quote from Condoleezza Rice. And that is what we've done. We are doing what we love, and especially with our So Social radio show.
If you do what you love and you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, but you have all the benefits of having a great life and the benefits that come along with it.
So make sure you tune in to the So Social radio show every Wednesday here at talknetworkradio.com at 12 noon Eastern Time. Make it a great social week.